Good morning, Lions! I'm your host, Christian Stewart, and welcome to the Stew. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for a moment of silent meditation. Welcome to the new year, guys, and I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas or any holiday that you celebrate. Let's get into Mindful Monday. Oh, wait, what? What happened to my suit? I'm on Mindful Monday? Oh, well, I guess let's get into Mindful Monday with our wonderful trust counselor, Alex Cantillo.
It's the best trust counselor. Where did Stuart go? Am I doing it by myself or what? Oh, whatever. All right, I guess I'm flying solo today. Like I said, it's the best trust counselor in all of Matter Academy, Mr. Alex Cantillo, coming to you live in the year 2022. And we are talking New Year's resolutions today, people. Yes, you heard that right, New Year's resolutions. I personally don't like New Year's resolutions. Why? I'm glad you asked. New Year's resolutions are something that many of us set sometimes that are super over the top, very unattainable. However, they're super motivating to us because they inspire a better version of who we are. So that's why today I want to introduce this concept of maybe a New Year commitment. All right, instead of a New Year, New You, let's commit to making ourselves better and improved. Okay? We all start from a place that, you know what, yes, we highlight areas where we could get better. Instead of changing who we are, let's amplify who we are. At the same time, though, you all are saying, what's the point? None of us follow through. It's not sustainable. Well, that's why we're here to give you some tips and some tricks on how to make those New Year commitments last through the year 2022. Because we want to see all of you Matter Lions out there watching this video right now become the best versions of yourselves. So before I give my own tips and tricks, go ahead, watch this clip, watch this video, and then we'll come back to share some of those best strategies for you all.
This year, I'm gonna be healthier, save money, sleep earlier, read more books, spend more time with people I care about, and find the love of my life. What could possibly go wrong? Hey there, all you ambitious kids. Katie here for D News. Every year it's the same. The clock strikes 12 and bam, you're a new person. All those things that make you feel bad about yourself are going out the door. Well, for a couple weeks or so. In fact, according to a study in the Journal of Clinical Psychology, out of the 45% of Americans who usually make New Year's resolutions, only 8% of them will succeed. Wow. That is disheartening. There are three main reasons why we have such a hard time keeping these resolutions. There are often too many, they are too vague, and they are often way too difficult. It can be fun and easy to make a huge bucket list of all the things that you want to change about yourself to set out to become the perfect you within the next year. But the problem is that we all have so many competing priorities, all these other things fall by the wayside. Having such a huge, daunting list can make it so much easier to abandon all of them. So how do we keep them? I want to be part of that 8%. Well, first of all, keep it simple. Rather than listing out 80 different things you want to try to achieve within the next year, try sticking to 1 to 3 goals that are really important to you. A study done by Stanford University showed that people that try to memorize more information have less willpower. Next, keep it specific. It's all right to have an overall goal of be healthier, but that's really vague. So in order to reach that long-term goal, set one small goal at a time. So maybe start with the goal, remove soda from my diet. Once you've successfully reached that goal, you can cross that off your short list and add a new one, like go for a run with Jen on Tuesdays. You get the idea. Speaking of Jen, an imaginary friend I just made up, employing the buddy system is pretty helpful, and not just in the traditional sense of having a friend to go to the gym with you on specific days, although that is very helpful. Sharing your goals with your friends and family can be so important. Studies show that a lack of social support can increase anxiety, cortisol, and heart rate, and all of these factors can affect your ability to stick to your goals. Share your goals with your friends, and if they try to shame you, then maybe it's time to add get new friends to your list. Not to mention, in this era of social media, it can be really easy to find social support. Go figure. Post your goals on a blog or Facebook. You could even make a weekly post to show your progress. An audience can be a good motivator. But don't do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. And remember that sometimes with the good support, there can be some pretty nasty people that feel uncomfy that you're doing something to better yourself and want to make you feel bad so that they can feel better. Shake it off, boo. They just mad at themselves. Now here's the big one. Don't be afraid to slip up. It's gonna happen. Humans are imperfect creatures, and no matter how scientific you are about your goals, there will undoubtedly be a time when you mess up. But that is okay. Using shame and guilt to motivate yourself will only backfire anyway. People who tend to feel badly about themselves have less self-efficacy, which in turn makes you feel more ashamed, and then it's just a vicious cycle. It's easier said than done, but practice self-forgiveness. If you tend to be one of those self-punishing people, maybe you should have one long-term goal of learning self-love. It's a tough one. And when you have that delicious piece of chocolate cake, enjoy it. Don't punish yourself. Remember that when you hit that first bump in the road, it does not mean you failed at your resolutions, and you may as well just eat another piece of cake and that ice cream and that donut and those feelings because you're just a worthless piece of failure. And P.S., here's just a little extra tip from me to you. You don't need a new year in order to make a new resolution.
So as you can see, we really need to be mindful about how we move forward in setting these New Year goals. Okay. Personally, I want to introduce this acronym SMART whenever you all are trying to develop these New Year commitments for yourselves. We start off with the word specific, which represents the letter S. S for specific, we want to make sure we know exactly what we are aiming for and have some clarity around the commitment that we're making. Research shows that people will say that I fell off my New Year resolution or my New Year commitment because I lack motivation. That's actually false. It's not motivation that you lack, it's clarity. So let's get specific about what we want to achieve and detail that through the next letter, M, measurable goals that we want for ourselves. What's the number that you are trying to achieve in terms of weight that you want to put up on the bench press, or maybe weight that you're trying to lose? How much water are you trying to drink? Let's get those numbers down. Let's get measurable. Let's get exact in what we want. Then we go to A. Let's make things adjustable. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves because we want to achieve things exactly as they are without giving us a little wiggle room. Let's have some flexibility with ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves and know that goals take time. That what we're trying to commit to in terms of long-term change and improvement takes time. So again, be willing to adjust in the long term. We also have to be honest with ourselves and be realistic. That's the R. Sometimes being real with ourselves is very, very hard. That's why you have me, to check in, to hold you accountable, and to help you modify the goals to make them a little bit more realistic. Okay? Also, be willing to check in with student services in terms of your academic goals. They'll help you set realistic standards for yourself and make you check in on where you're at periodically. And the last thing in terms of your SMART commitment is the letter T. We gotta have a time. If you don't have a time frame for when things will get done, nothing will get done. So make sure that you at least schedule time, and even if you don't reach that first period of time in terms of your commitment, we can always adjust, be flexible, and make it something that you will eventually get to, okay? Nevertheless, setting a time frame holds you accountable to when you will get to your commitment or accomplish your commitment, okay? At the end of the day, when we're being smart, let's think back and realize that, you know what, we want to start small and eventually build up, because this is a long game. Making a better you is not something that happens in the course of 2-3 days, not even a week. It happens in the long term, and we got to inch and claw our way there. So let's be smart about it. Let's keep the vision. And hey, go Lions.
Now, on screen are some fantastic scores from sports. They're all gone from Max Prep, so if you want to keep up yourself, just in case we aren't there for like the past 2 weeks. And additionally, seniors, please remember this is the last month for FAFSA. January 30th is the last day that Matcha will be assisting for FAFSA. So make sure to get it done. And I can't believe I haven't seen you guys since last year. Bye guys.